While everyone is different, there are some characteristics and similarities that can appear and develop. These can look like becoming increasingly controlling, becoming very particular about how things are done and the way they should look, being very regimented and inflexible. This can lead to OCD type behaviours, things having to be done in a particular way, wanting to control how other people behave and react, what they should do and not do. When things don't follow that regimented path, there can be angry outbursts, frustration, going silent and uncommunicative. In relationships, this can look like jealousy, feeling threatened and undermined. When things are suppressed, they tend to erupt explosively, often from nowhere. This can lead to unpredictable behaviours, which are scary both to the person acting them out and those on the receiving end. There's often a lack of responsibility or understanding of the actual cause, and the blame will be put on the action of others or external events by a projection of blaming and shaming. The effort of prolonged suppression can produce high levels of constant anxiety, a fear of things going wrong, something bad happening and losing control. This will affect sleep, make concentration difficult, restlessness or inability to complete tasks. Often the only way to manage this is through drugs or alcohol. These inhibit the causes of the anxiety, but too much of either can cause either an outpouring of repressed emotion or severe outbursts of anger. The ongoing suppression and hiding of emotions can lead to secretive behaviours, the inability to be truthful, denial, and making excuses for behaviours or excesses. There can be quite significant mood swings, sudden switches and extremes of being excessively enthusiastic or plummeting into the depths of despair. Life in general can become bland, joyless, emotionless, and seem pointless. Finding motivation for doing anything can be really difficult, leading to self-blaming and finding constant fault with ourselves. All of these can result in reckless behaviour, with or without the effects of substances. This can be very scary for those around us. They fear what they are capable of and get very afraid of the lack of control they have during these episodes. However, there's a lot of different ways to manage the controlling behaviours. When we learn to recognise and can find ways of working with our inner turmoil and reactions, then it makes it less important to control our external world and all the behaviours that come with this. So what can we do about this? Where do we start to try and change things? Feeling is an emotional sensation. If you can't feel any physical sensations in your body, then it's going to be an impossible task to try and feel and read your emotions. The first step is reawakening the feelings and sensations, learning how to take notice of them and let the body communicate to us what's happening. We start with noticing physical things and connecting us back to what our body tells us about it instead of what our head tells us. Allocate yourself half an hour a couple of times a day to just sit and do some of these. Make it important. Your head will tell you there are lots of more important things to do, but try and override that. Start with your feet in your shoes or slippers. Press your toes up to the top and then slowly press them down. Feel your toes moving and what they are coming into contact with. Do this a few times. Just feel it. Don't think about it. Scrunch your toes up tight and then release them.
Fist with your toes.
Again, just feel them moving. Try rolling a ping pong ball or something round under your feet. Just feel the different sensations. Try not to think, just notice how it feels. Describe it to yourself. Squeeze all the muscles you can find in your arms. Squeeze them until they feel really tight, then very slowly release them. Repeat this several times, each time trying to release it slower than the last time. Feel the sensations in your arms and feel the control you have over the muscles. Try doing each arm separately, then both together. Do the same with your legs. Squeeze all the muscles you can find, hold them really tight, then see how slowly you can release them. Try with one leg at a time, and then both together. Using your hands, rub them vigorously against your trousers. Create heat and friction. Stop and let yourself feel the tingling. Practice these things every day so they become familiar exercises. Then if you're feeling anxious or agitated, sit down and do them. You'll find you'll get some relief and a break from your head. When you are anxious, your body experiences this as a physical sensation. To someone who shuts down, the first impulse is to ignore it. We want to reverse this and feel it instead. That way we can do something about it. If you are feeling anxious, you might be restless, pacing, sweating, worrying, angry, or fearful. Good measures of anxiety are things like: is your breathing tight when you try to take a deep breath? Is there a churning in your stomach? Are your thoughts racing or jumbled? Are your shoulders or back tight? Are you agitated, can't keep still or get comfortable? Is your body heavy, still, hard to move? Do you just feel numb? Just take a measure of one or two things and see what affects them. Try the exercises mentioned in the previous video and see which ones affect the parts of your body you are taking note of. These are going to be your resources, the things you try instead of avoiding, distracting, and overthinking. If your response to anxiety is to shut down, sleep, and avoid everyone, then you know you have some frightened parts that find everything too much. Try using your strength and working your muscles. Go gently at first, squeezing and tightening, then build up to pushing against things. Make yourself and what's around you feel more solid and real. Engage with your surroundings, don't cut off from them. Control is really important to all of us, so slow things down. Whatever exercises you try, do them as slowly as you can so you really feel the control over your muscles. It makes it harder and makes you really involved in what you are doing. Keep observing how your body is responding. How does your body tell you which one it prefers? You can turn all your unhealthy coping mechanisms around by noticing your behaviour and doing something different but simple. Learn to observe what you are doing. Stop, notice, and just be curious. If you avoid, engage with your muscles and environment. If you shut down, get some gentle energy flowing. If you get agitated, slow things down. Make tasks more mindful. If you go into controlling mode and want to fix everything immediately, make this part work differently by seeing how slowly you can tense and release your muscles. Once you are able to manage the physical effects of anxiety, then you'll be more in control and less at the mercy of what might happen to you. Less vulnerable and more solid and capable.